Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Friedland. Please have a seat. And there are some few more guests I want to call on stage.
At the same time?
Yes. Well, together at the same time, just have a seat. Yes, you already met him in this documentary. He's here, the founder of the genre, Miguel Sobido. And also here tonight, the director of the Center for Media and Health, Martina Bauer. And our last guest is a scriptwriter for one of the longest running series, soap series in the Netherlands, and now he's a creative producer. Please welcome Gerard Bos. Okay, yes, and while we all are taking place here, I will give you the mic and hello. Yes, we would like to read you. Hello, hello. Please take a seat. And yes, you're here for the sound. Perfect. Yes, just take a seat on the stage. I think we have. Yes, Peter, you want to say something because you would like to correct something you said before.
I'd like to correct something before because I may have given the wrong impression. My war against documentary is not against documentary filmmakers, it's against the gatekeepers and the funders and the distributors and all of the people who for 30 years have tried to prevent me from having a career. Now I am at IDFA, which means IDFA has given me my career. IDFA is, I've been to probably 1,000 film festivals. There's only one I come back to over and over, and that's IDFA. So anything negative I say about gatekeepers, Ali Dirks and Adric and IDFA are the top of the top of the top, and I don't mean only in documentary, I mean in film, in art, and in human beings. So, but that wasn't the important thing I wanted to say is, message to my colleagues, if you want to make effective social change, make entertainment and art and good craftsmanship and good films the fact that it's some sort of social emergency. If you don't know how to use a camera, it isn't gonna do anything in the world. And
okay, Peter, yeah, I'm just asking you to take a seat there because I'm going to ask you more questions. Don't be afraid. And I give the opportunity for all the people that are here tonight to listen to you very well.
Miguel talks even more than I do.
Oh, good. So you're in here for a long time. It's just that you know. Yeah. Well, we do that after. I just want to first. I want to ask you a question about when did you came across the subject and when did you decide to make a documentary on it?
A producer friend of mine in New York who produces fiction, not documentaries, read about PCI, which is the people who you saw in Bolivia, and said, what do you think? Let's make a documentary about it. And then I found Miguel and I said, well, Miguel has created PCI, and PCI created all the others. Everything, most things, now there are other people, history isn't that simple, but most of what you see in the film is Miguel and his children and the people who influenced him. So I set about to do that, and I read about Miguel, and I met Miguel, and I said, well, Miguel is the most important person I've ever met, and maybe the most important person alive. So I want to make a film about Miguel and his legacy.
Very good. I want to ask Miguel, because I'm sorry for this trouble. Mr. Sobibo has some hearing problems, and that's why we have somebody with us. I just want to ask you how it is for you to see your methods explained in a documentary.
Well, first of all, excuse me because I am deaf, and I need a translation from English to English. Okay. Well, I'm very proud, really, because it's almost 40 years that I have been trying to use the social media to have a benefit to society. When I began, everybody said that I was totally crazy, that television was an idiot box or a dream factory, but it is not. It is not an idiot house, box or a factory of dreams. It's the big teacher of society. If she wouldn't, there would not be any commercial in the channels, because the commercials are trying to teach us behave. To drink Coca-Cola, oh, it's so wonderful. And they are trying to teach us to drink Coca-Cola. And if the television is trying to teach during the time of the commercials why they should stop in the moment that the telenovela begins. No, the television in all over around the world is the big teacher of society. So when I see this beautiful work of Peter, I'm very proud and very grateful with him, because he went to Mexico and he worked a lot designing. He designed this to be buried with telenovelas, and really it was a wonderful work.
Mr. Sumiko, can I ask you
And I have
one question? I would just like to know what you thought was the hardest subject to get across in a telenovela. What did you have to fight for the most?
¿Cuál fue el tema más difícil que trataste, por el que tuviste que pelear para poder presentar una telenovela?
Well, the licenses, they don't want to produce these kind of things, and they don't want to know what is the real effect on the society. Fortunately, I found a wonderful licensee, Emilio Escarramilmo, that he paid for the 5 first novelas and for the research of the real effect in the audience. And now I'm very happy, I'm very proud, and I have a lot of hopes, because the government of my country is paying for my next telenovela, and it's almost unbelievable. The name is Learning to Live, and it's devoted to the, how could I say?
Educational reform.
Educational reform. As you know, there's an educational reform all over around the world. It was produced by UNESCO, and this telenovela that I'm airing now is paid by the government. So it opens an enormous future for this kind of efforts. In the moment that all governments in the world really understand and really accept that the media is going to be the biggest teacher for society. In the moment that the Marxist utopia is totally destroyed, or in the moment that the Christian utopia about the charity is also broken, there is only one way to solve the problems of the humankind, that the society really learns how to solve the social problems, and the very best way to teach them how to do it is through the mass media.
Thank you very much, and congratulations with that important achievement of getting your telenovela financed by the government. Martine, voor jou de vraag. I would like to ask you, do you think it's, in Holland, it's useful, this form of talking about social problems and in soap series, telenovelas?
Well, we saw a lot of examples from non-Western societies, and
Yes.
we saw a few from a Western society perspective. And the principle of role modeling, the principle of addressing social issues in drama formats, I think that's exactly the same. But the way we write the scripts, the way we address it, might be a little bit different. For example, in non-Western settings, we say people have a collective society. So they are all watching it in a group. And they talk about the series, they laugh together when they see the series. And we are most individually watching this series, so there's a different dynamic. But the essence of portraying important issues of life and death, or even environmental issues, or racial tolerance issues, like bullying, for example, it's a very hot topic at the moment. And also sustainability topics. I think they can be beautifully interwoven into drama lines.
Yeah, but for example, the one that we just saw, the hearing problems of the youth in Western societies, I believe you also tried to get that in the Goede Tijden, Slechte Tijden. It's a long-running soap series in the Netherlands, to get a storyline into that series.
Well, this sound we collaborated with NMO,
Yes.
To create a new series. This was an internet series,
Yeah.
Which was an innovative format. In 2008 was the first entertainment internet series ever made here in the Netherlands and maybe also in Europe, I'm not sure. And it was a 2-3 minutes episode. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
As writers, you have to write a cliffhanger after 2 minutes, which is an extremely difficult task, but can tell more about it. So we created, let's say, our own mini soap, and that we used the let's say, the popularity of famous actors.
Yeah.
And because we designed it from scratch on, you can really create a storyline that really suits the purpose of your issue. And of course, for example, in Good Times, Bad Times, if the storyline is, let's say, is open to this,
Is suitable
issues,
for that.
then it also might be interwoven in an already popular storyline in the
Yes.
series, and it would even be more useful probably because it's already a very famous series.
Yeah.
Good Time, Bad Times had a lot of audiences, a lot of high viewer rate. So when you have to design your own series, you have to start from scratch on to get viewers, or in this case, people who download the internet series and watch it.
And was it a popular series?
Yeah, we combined it with other parts of a big campaign, and the reason why we designed this storyline is because young people are really not interested in hearing loss issues. So if we make it a kind of dramatic, compelling story, they might start to discuss about it and think about it. And we did also some, let's say, pre-post control research studies, and we find some positive results, although it was results from the whole campaign. So we don't know whether it was because of the series or because it was part of the campaign.
Okay, then I would like to ask something to Kenneth.
Yeah.
Kenneth, you were one of the scriptwriters also from the soap series. Is it easy to imply those social issues in an entertainment show?
Well, I want to start off by saying that I do believe that storytellers are one of the most powerful people in the world. Like they say in the documentary, since the beginning of time, people have come together to listen to stories, and that's been going on for ages and ages. But I think that we at Goede Tijden, Slechte Tijden, or Good Times, Bad Times, don't do it on purpose. We don't write a social story in. We do the opposite. you don't either?
Oh, that's good.
But the effect might be that we will teach the audience something, or that we learn something from it, but it's never the intention.
But it's not like if you know that homosexuality, there's a lot of discrimination, that you decide to bring extra homosexuals into the series to discuss the problem.
No.
You don't?
No, we don't.
Why?
The reason it's so effective is because it's not the goal.
I think I totally agree with you. So we could never make it our goal to do it. We have to write, first rule of writing is write about what you know, and write about, write from what you like to see yourself, or what you believe is an interesting story to tell.
Yes.
So I tell stories that I like to tell, And
What was an issue addressed in Goede Tijden, Slechte Tijden that had a huge impact?
Well, lately we had a gay storyline with two guys falling in love and kissing and making love on screen. And suddenly, because we have Twitter now, people started tweeting that that was disgusting and stuff like that. So then a whole, sort of...
Well, there came a discussion about...
It became a discussion, yeah. And I saw, other programs on TV where there's on Dutch television a program called Out of the Closet, which is a show where they follow people who come out of the closet.
Yeah.
And in that show, people talked about Goede Tijden as in, when I see two guys kissing in good times, there's my father reacts in a certain way, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That of course makes me proud in the sense that you've done something that influence people, but that's never the goal. But it's a good result.
Okay. Yes, you're going to talk about that. I would like to ask if there are any questions from the audience member. Please don't hesitate. Just, there's one over there, there's one over there. So we just make sure that we get the microphone over there and get your question. Please say your name and just to whom your question concerns.
My name is Toon Vooran from Rotterdam University. I wonder, we all talk about positive modeling in storytelling, but there is a lot of negative modeling in storytelling. So, for example, simple things like demonstrating the right way to research, to mouth-to-mouth, helping something is easy to apply, but there is a lot of wrong modeling. Can animal do something about that?
Oh, well, that's a question for you, Kenneth.
They don't know it yet, but they're about to.
With you, aren't we?
It's a deal. Can we sign on stage?
Well, my boss is right over there. I think there's a misconception.
I just want you to write it.
Oh, that's okay. I will, and produce it for you. Now, I think there's a misconception about soap operas in general. Like one man said, that it's negative. It's not. Soap operas always, the good is always rewarded and bad is always punished in the end. But like in life, and it's drama, so drama would be boring if everyone was good, and it's not lifelike. I mean,
So Kenneth, Martina would also like to react on that one?
But I didn't answer your question, right?
Was it okay, we'll go back to you. Yeah, Martina, what do you want to say?
Yes, I would like to address that we should stay out of the dichotomy to entertaining or educating. It's both. I mean, entertainment first, that's priority, top number one, entertainment. And the stories that you tell in your entertainment format can be very related to day-to-day issues that people experience. And if we see in Soul City, for example, we saw some examples. Soul City was the first indigenous soap series in South Africa after the apartheid ended. And they had 6 to 8 times higher viewing rates than Bold and the Beautiful. Because it was indigenous, but also because they inserted all kind of issues like HIV/AIDS, family planning, mother-child care, which really brought people to think about their own lives, and it was really catering for their heart.
So it's the mixture.
And it was really addressed and designed as an entertainment education series.
Kenneth, for just a remark, and then Peter, you?
I think why it worked is because it's a show that's set in that the viewers in that country can relate to, because it's their society reflected in that show. If we would do the same as Goede Tijden, people would not watch it because that's not our society. Goede Tijden is popular now, and people watch it because there's a discussion about that, but because it's a reflection of our society. The country gets the soap opera or telenovela it deserves, or that belongs to that country.
Okay, Peter?
I would like to address the question of negative modeling, because I had a direct experience of that, which you saw in the film. When the Bold and the Beautiful, the guy shows the video to his daughter to try to stop her from getting married. The video he showed her was my film, Silver Lake Life, which is in the festival here at IDFA now, and is about to be rebroadcast on Dutch TV. And I said to them, you can't use it because that's negative modeling. And they said, oh, you need to see the script for the later episode when they get married and the father celebrates with them at the wedding.
So I guess at the end, you were not so happy about it.
I think you missed the last thing. The film ends with the wedding, with the father there, because what happened is he tried to discourage her. Then he woke up and saw that love conquers all, even AIDS, and she was right, and he gave his blessing to the wedding.
Yes, I think that's a good ending also, but I also thought when I saw the image in Bold and the Beautiful that it was kind of a harsh way of portraying someone with AIDS, and that it might also be appealing to those who had those strong images of what
Actually,
it is.
it was even worse, because I was just thinking now, it's saying that if you have HIV, this is your future, which is sort of a lie, even.
But this film was
not in your film.
No, this film was made in 1993. It wasn't a lie then. It wasn't a lie.
The Bold wasn't, right?
The Bold was made in 2000.
So it was ignorance in a way.
No, it was it was the ignorance of the father, and he overcame the ignorance.
That's always good.
That was the message.
That's always good.
That was the message.
That is a good thing. Does anyone have more questions? Over there. Yes, you get the microphone. Please say your name.
Hello, my name is Esther Veldhuis. I've been since 2005 within Oxfam Novib building a program on entertainment education.
Yes.
What I am always very intrigued about, and I also heard Miquel Sabido saying that, is that it's the biggest factor of change. Telenovelas reaches out to poor people, illiterate, non-literate people. It changes minds and hearts of people. I found the scene where Miquel is sitting in front of these mummies very, very striking. So what is the legacy of these scriptwriters of today that have such a huge responsibility, and at the same time there seems to be some sort of a taboo that entertainment comes first. Okay, I agree with that. But you also said you will not, Peter. You said I'm not going to make more documentaries because we can change the world with telenovelas. And also I know in combination with community mobilization activities. Now, so my question is, if this is such a huge power of change, why isn't it happening more in the world? Why isn't there a UN conference on it? Why is there this taboo on it? What is, and especially my question is to Miquel.
Okay, let me see if Miquel, there's a microphone between you. Oh, there's one here. It's one on your left.
Okay, well, first, I think that we have to make a division between the serial, 1 week a week, or 1 hour a week. Then the American soap opera. The American soap opera never ends. Guiding Light is 45 years old. But the Latin American telenovela has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's why the theory of Dr. Bandura of reinforcement, positive and negatives, you can distribute along this story that is going to have a beginning, a middle, and an end that the American soap opera doesn't have. And that the serial, like Dr. House or whatever, they have not continuity to follow really, which is the effect, the quality effect on the audience. That's why on my experience, on my own experience, I have been working on telenovela, Latin American telenovela, because it's the only way to learn really what is the social effect that you are going to have on the audience. If you have one only episode, it can be very shocking, like this with the noise of the neighbors. But it's very difficult to know exactly what is going to be the social effect on the audience. If you have a soap opera like Guiding Light or The Young and the Beautiful, etc., you are going to be lost in the lot of stories that are around the hospital or the Wisteria Lane, etc. But if you have the Latin American telenovela that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, you can perfectly plan the behavior of the bad examples, the good examples, and it's very important, a third type of characters, the doubting characters. Because the doubting characters at the beginning of the telenovela, they are doubting between one value and the other one. And the story that you are going to tell is how they are going to have a trip for doubting to finally accept the value and to be convinced of this value.
Mr. Subido, because I thought the question was also, because you have shown how important it is and that it's such a strong tool of change, why is it not used more?
¿Por qué no se usa más?
You can also answer that.
On your question, let me answer the question there. The UN has had several fora on that. There was actually, it was called Digital Divide, and the vice president of CNN at that time, Barbara Pyle, convened a meeting on that. The problem we have on entertainment education that we have had is that it has to be a five-leg bench in which you have to combine the NGOs, the problems of the infrastructure you're attending, be it health, be it family planning, be it education. Then you have to have the government and, like Peter said, the gatekeepers of the main broadcasters that do not want to be told what to say in their own structures. So that's the main problem why it's not being combined, because it's five elements and there's got to be one person to do it. We have seen, and Martin has, in some of the meetings that we have been, has always asked, why is so many EE efforts failed? Because an NGO who is in charge of a certain activity wants to be the scriptwriter, and a person who is not a scriptwriter, professional scriptwriter, cannot tell the stories or cannot direct. They don't use professional actors. First is entertainment and such, and then you put the little education in it. So that's basically the problem, because it's a five-leg bench. That's the problem.
There's a problem. Documentary people have gatekeepers too, and they're all at IDFA, and they're all stupid, irresponsible, hypocritical morons, just like those dolls, such as Simon Cole Murray, who just refused this film for POV, PBS in the United States, and the programmers for the 38 documentary film festivals around the world that rejected this film, and Ali Derricks was the only one to say yes. So what it's all about is that people can't grasp that trash TV, the lowest form of entertainment, can have value in making the world better. And the documentary people think in their own deluded way, bless their hearts, they know not what they do. They think they're changing the world, and they won't even watch a film about telenovelas because they know telenovelas are trash, and how could it possibly be interesting?
Very good. I want to give the last word to Mr. Subido.
Yes, I've been fighting with this position for 30 or 40 years. But this year, there's a wonderful hope, appeared a wonderful hope. Because now the digital techniques, the digital revolution, have lower cost. And now I had finished a new telenovela about the educational reform, and it's a quite cheap telenovela, because 20 years ago only the big organizations in Latin America or whatever. They could produce telenovelas. So I had to go begging, please, 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 let me do something about family planning or AIDS or something like this. In this moment, a non-profit association like my dear friend Dumont can very easily produce a telenovela of this kind, because now it's not so expensive like it used to be. And now we have discovered that there are a lot of alternative channels where we can put the telenovelas. The commercial telenovela in the world, you put it on your channel once, and that's all. You are not going to repeat it. But fortunately, if a non-profit association produce a telenovela that 60 chapters, 60, that's a lot of chapters. It's going to cost around $1 million. Well, you can put it in one channel, and another channel, and another channel, and another channel. So that it seems very simple, but it's very important, because now we had broken the monopoly of the big institution of licenses producing telenovelas. I have a lot of hopes, because this new way to produce and distribute telenovelas is going to answer that question exactly. We are going to have a lot of new, interesting, thrilling telenovelas, but with a social content.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to thank all my guests. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you very much.
For anyone in the audience, we will have a seminar just starting within half an hour in Club Escape. Animal and the Center for Media and Health organized a seminar, and those of you in the audience who would like to participate, we still have some 10 to 20 extra chairs, so you're welcome to join us to discuss more in depth and to see a lot of more examples.
In half an hour in the Escape.
Yeah, we will start at 4:30. And we will go with a group to Escape, so you can also follow the group that's going to Club Escape.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to Director Piet Friedman.